The most dangerous assumption you can make in the world of modern attraction is thinking that silence or subtle behavior equals a lack of interest. In fact, for a vast majority of women, the more they like you, the more likely they are to hide it behind a veil of indirect signals. This is the great divide between the way men and women communicate. Men are typically socialized to be direct, to state their intentions, and to pursue what they want. Women, however, often operate on a frequency of subtlety, emotional nuance, and social calibration. If you are waiting for a woman to walk up to you and declare her feelings with perfect clarity, you are going to be waiting for a very long time. And in the process, you are going to miss out on some of the most incredible connections of your life. The truth is that when a woman feels a strong pull toward a man, she feels an immediate and intense sense of vulnerability. To be direct is to be exposed. To be direct is to risk rejection. Or worse, to risk looking desperate in a social hierarchy that often judges women harshly for being too forward. So instead of being direct, she sends out feelers. She drops breadcrumbs. She tests the waters to see if you are observant enough, confident enough, and socially aware enough to pick up on what she is putting down. Most men fail this test because they are looking for the wrong things. They are looking for the shout when they should be listening for the whisper. This disconnect creates a massive amount of frustration. You might think she is being hot and cold or playing games, or that she is just a confusing person. But the reality is that she is likely terrified of her own interest. She is waiting for you to lead, but she won't give you the map in plain English. She wants you to earn the map by paying attention. This video is about teaching you how to read that map. We are going to move past the myths and dive deep into the hidden psychology of female attraction, uncovering the specific, actionable signs that she is into you, and most importantly, how you should respond to keep that attraction growing, rather than smothering it with your own insecurity. You see, the problem isn't usually that the signs aren't there. The problem is that men have been taught to look for logic in a realm that is governed by emotion and safety. For a woman, attraction is inseparable from the feeling of being safe and understood. If she doesn't feel like you can read her subtle cues, she won't feel like you can handle her deeper emotions later on. This is why the testing phase is so critical. She is gauging your emotional intelligence. She is asking herself, is this a man who is grounded enough to see me? Or is he so stuck in his own head that he needs everything spelled out for him? Let's break down the hidden psychology here. Why do women choose indirectness? It comes down to a concept I call the vulnerability buffer. When a woman uses indirect signals, she maintains plausible deniability. If she smiles at you from across the room and you don't respond, she hasn't lost anything. She can tell herself she was just being friendly or looking at something else. But if she were to walk over and tell you she likes you and you rejected her, her ego would be bruised and her social standing might feel compromised. By staying indirect, she protects herself while still leaving the door open for you to walk through. This is not about manipulation. It is about emotional self-preservation. When you understand this, you stop being frustrated by her indirectness, and you start seeing it as a compliment. It means she values your opinion enough to be afraid of your rejection. Now, let's talk about the specific signs that usually fly under the radar. The first and most prominent sign is what I call the proximity effect. A woman who secretly likes you will constantly find herself in your physical orbit, often appearing there as if by accident. You'll notice her at the same coffee station, or she'll happen to be standing near the group you're talking to, or she'll suddenly start attending the same events as you. On the surface, it looks like a coincidence, but if you look closer, you'll see that she is positioning herself to be noticed. She is giving you the opportunity to start a conversation without her having to be the one to initiate the initial contact. Pay attention to her feet and her shoulders. If they are consistently pointed toward you, even when she is talking to someone else, her subconscious mind is prioritizing you. The second sign is the detail retrieval. This is a massive giveaway. A woman who is indifferent to you will forget your name, your job, and your stories within minutes. But a woman who is secretly attracted to you will remember the smallest, most insignificant details you mentioned weeks ago. She'll ask you how that presentation went on Tuesday, or she'll mention that she saw a book you once said you liked. Why does she do this? Because when a woman is attracted to a man, she listens with her whole heart. She is building a mental file on you, trying to understand what makes you tick. If she surprises you with a specific memory of something you barely remember saying, she isn't just being a good listener. She is showing you that you have a permanent place in her thoughts. The third sign is what I call defensive teasing. This is often where men get confused. She might poke fun at your shoes, your taste in music, or the way you drink your coffee. To an untrained man, this feels like she doesn't like him. But in the world of female attraction, light, playful teasing is often a way to create tension and see how you handle it. It's a way of saying, I'm paying enough attention to you to find things to tease you about, and I want to see if you're man enough to laugh along with me or if you'll get defensive. If you get defensive, you kill the attraction. If you lean into it and tease her back, you create a spark of chemistry that is far more powerful than a boring compliment. The fourth sign is the body language leak. This is the stuff her conscious mind can't control. Watch for the preening behavior. Is she constantly fixing her hair when you walk in? Is she smoothing out her clothes or adjusting her jewelry? These are biological impulses to look her best in the presence of a high-value mate. Also, look at her pupils. When we are attracted to someone, our pupils naturally dilate. It's an involuntary physiological response. If her eyes look dark and deep when she's talking to you, her nervous system is literally screaming that she's interested. Finally, the fifth sign is her digital breadcrumbs. Does she like your old photos? Does she watch your stories within minutes of you posting them, but never actually sends a message? This is her way of staying in your digital orbit. She wants you to see her name on your screen. She is reminding you that she exists, hoping that you will be the one to take the bait and start the conversation. Now that you know the signs, we have to talk about the most important part, the response. This is where 90% of men blow it. The moment a man realizes a woman likes him, his brain usually goes into one of two modes. He either becomes an approval seeker, or he becomes the pursuer. The approval seeker starts looking for more validation. He thinks, oh, she likes me. Now I have to make sure she keeps liking me. He starts being extra nice, giving too many compliments, and checking in constantly. This immediately kills the mystery. The woman feels the shift in energy. She liked the version of you that was confident and independent. When you start seeking her approval, you become predictable and, quite frankly, boring. The pursuer mode is just as bad. This is the guy who notices a sign and immediately turns the intensity up to 11. He starts texting her every day, asking her out constantly, and making grand declarations. This overwhelms her. Remember, she chose indirect signals because she felt vulnerable. If you respond with overwhelming directness, you are stripping away her plausible deniability before she is ready to give it up. You are forcing her into a corner, and her natural reaction will be to back away to regain her sense of safety. So, how should a high-value man respond? You respond with the mirror strategy. You acknowledge the signal, but you stay grounded in your own life. If she positions herself in your orbit, you acknowledge her with a warm smile and a brief, confident conversation. But then you go back to your friends or your work. If she teases you, you tease her back with a smirk. But you don't stay there all night trying to get her to laugh again. You want to show her that you see the door she is opening, but you aren't going to go running through it like a starving man. You are the one who is choosing her just as much as she is choosing you. This creates a powerful dynamic of mutual respect. When you don't overreact, you signal to her that you are used to women being attracted to you. You signal that you are a man of options and that your validation isn't easily won. This makes her want to try harder. It makes her invest more. And in the world of attraction, the person who invests more is the one who values the relationship more. The goal is to let her feel the tension. Tension is the fuel of desire. If you resolve the tension too quickly by being too available, the fire goes out. But if you hold the tension, if you stay a little bit mysterious and a lot bit confident, she will find herself thinking about you constantly. She will start to wonder, does he like me back? I gave him a sign, but he didn't chase me. Maybe I need to give him a bigger sign. This is how you flip the script. Instead of you chasing her, she begins to chase the idea of you. This is the strategic mindset shift you need. You have to stop viewing attraction as a goal to be achieved and start viewing it as an experience to be shared. You are not trying to win her. You are trying to see if she is someone who fits into the incredible life you are already building. This shift in perspective is what separates the boys from the men. A boy needs a woman to like him to feel good about himself. A man feels good about himself, and a woman's interest is simply a pleasant addition to his world. When you carry this energy, your response to her signals will naturally be calibrated. You won't overtext, you won't overexplain, you won't get jealous or needy. You will simply be a presence that she wants more of. This is the secret to maintaining long-term interest. Most relationships fail because the man loses his edge the moment he thinks he has the girl. He stops doing the things that made him attractive in the first place. He stops going to the gym, stops chasing his goals, and makes her the center of his universe. And then he wonders why she suddenly gets confused or needs space. She doesn't need space from you. She needs space from the version of you that is suffocating her with his neediness. By staying focused on your own mission and using the mirror strategy, you remain the man she first felt that spark for. You remain the challenge. You remain the prize. So here is your action plan. First, stop looking for the big, obvious signs and start paying attention to the micro behaviors. Look for the proximity, the memory, and the teasing. Second, when you see a sign, don't change your behavior. Don't start trying harder. Instead, acknowledge the sign with a playful, confident energy, but stay focused on your own life. Let her come to you. Let her invest. Third, and most importantly, work on yourself. The reason men get so excited and overcompensate when a woman shows interest is because they don't believe they deserve it. They feel like they caught a lucky break and they have to hold on for dear life. When you know your value, when you are constantly growing, learning, and building, a woman's attraction doesn't shock you. It feels natural. It feels like the expected outcome of the work you've put in. That is the ultimate position of power. Not power over her, but power over your own emotions and your own destiny. When you reach that level, you won't need to decode signals anymore, because the right women will make it so clear that even a blind man could see it. But until then, keep your eyes open, stay grounded, and never let your pursuit of a woman distract you from your pursuit of excellence. The world is full of men who are willing to be fans of a woman. Be the man that she is a fan of. This requires a level of stoicism and a level of self-respect that most men simply haven't developed. They are too influenced by movies and songs that tell them to put her on a pedestal. But the pedestal is a lonely place for a woman. She doesn't want to be looked up to. She wants to be looked at, eye to eye, by a man who isn't afraid of her beauty or her signals. She wants a man who is her equal, not her servant. Every time you refrain from overcompensating, you are proving that you are her equal. Every time you handle a test with a smile rather than an argument, you are proving your strength. This is how you build a foundation for a real, deep connection. It starts with the silent language, but it ends with a partnership built on mutual respect and genuine desire. If you've been struggling to figure out where you stand with someone, I want you to take a step back today. Stop trying to figure her out and start focusing back on yourself. Watch how the energy shifts. Watch how she reacts when you stop being so available. It might be scary at first because you're afraid you'll lose her, but the truth is, you can't lose what you never truly had. And by pulling back, you're giving her the chance to actually grab hold of you. This is the dance of attraction. It's not a race to the finish line, it's a rhythmic exchange of energy. If you can master the silence, you can master the relationship. You have to be okay with the uncertainty. You have to be okay with the possibility that she might not be the one, and that her signals might just be friendliness. When you are okay with either outcome, you gain the ultimate freedom. You can interact with her without the weight of expectation. You can be your most charming, relaxed, and authentic self. And ironically, that is exactly the version of you that is the most irresistible to her. Think about the most attractive men you know. Are they the ones who are constantly stressing about what a woman thinks of them? No. They are the ones who are busy living a life that they love. And women are naturally drawn into that vacuum of positive energy. Your job is to create that vacuum. Your job is to be the person who is so secure in his own skin that a woman feels she has to earn her place in your world. That isn't arrogance, it is high-level self-esteem. And high-level self-esteem is the ultimate aphrodisiac. As we wrap this up, remember that this isn't about being a jerk or being cold. It's about being a man of substance. A man who sees the hidden cues but doesn't let them derail his mission. If she likes you, she will make sure you know, provided you give her the space to do so. If you fill all the space with your own noise, she will never have the chance to sing her song. So be quiet, be observant, be confident, and most importantly, stay the course on your own journey. The right woman will not only send you signals, she will work to keep up with you as you move toward your greatness. That is the kind of attraction worth having, and that is the kind of man you are becoming by understanding these secrets. If you found this perspective helpful, or if you've noticed these subtle signs in your own life, I want to hear about it. What's a signal you missed in the past that you now recognize? What's a time you overcompensated and saw the attraction fade? Share your story in the comments so we can all learn from each other's experiences. We're building a community of men here who are committed to understanding the truth, even when it's complicated. I'll be down there responding to as many of you as I can. Until next time, stay sharp, stay grounded, and keep paying attention to the things most men miss. Your results with women will change the moment you change the way you see them. It's time to stop guessing and start knowing. See you in the next one!